Yo, welcome back to TeamViza TV interview series, season 6, episode 10. I'll be your host tonight, the Visa boy. Special guest in the building, he'll only be from point 14 to be exact. Right? Now this gentleman, he ain't no stranger to the camera, the CEO of TruLiving Stores, TruLiving Designs, designer and hustler. His quote, keep true to yourself and the way you are living. Let's look at the TeamViza TV interview series, season 6, episode 10. Young entrepreneur, TruLiving. TruLiving, my brother. What is it? You good? Season 6, episode 10.
I went way back past. I should have been like this guy.
So this is TruLiving, who does that?
I want the charger. Did you love blacks and forcings?
It's like right now,
She has
guys.
to jump on and drive charter. I'm getting
I want to share some knowledge,
Yes, I'm not here.
encourage you to stay follow the dreams. We still have other options instead of just still into the madness.
Right.
You can still try something. Why I tell people most of the times, before you even think about turning bad, give yourself 5 years, right? 5 years straight hustle, no negativity, no doubting, no thinking about giving up, but in that whole 5 years.
Why the 5 years, Gabby?
Because I believe 5 years is a good time frame for you to accomplish something. Within a 5 year time frame, hustling every day, you should get noticed enough in what you're doing. So you're grinding 5 years straight every single day, you must accomplish something in the 5 years. You have to be very bad lucky to not accomplish something every single day for 5 years.
Yes, we get this facts to you. Yes, we get this facts to you. Because in result of that, I can attest to myself now, as I say, the 5 years, and we've been around for a little period of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for those who might know who TruLiving is, right? Can you tell TeamViza TV a little about yourself?
To begin with, I as a man, I just try to always be as real as possible.
Right.
I just try not to fake nothing others do. Whoever see me on the internet, what I'm doing on the internet, is what you're going to meet in person. So, I just somebody I like to be real. I like to keep true to me as it is. I'm not trying to follow the crowd. I'm not trying to live my life to please somebody else's version of what I should be. Right? So that is why I choose to be true to me and the way how I live in. Because if I don't be true to what I want to live for, then what is really the point I live in? You understand? So that basically what it is. I just being true to me positively and the way how I want to live.
Right. So that could only, but that could, for me, that could only show the name TruLiving, how it's come about. And
yeah. So that I just try to show people when I do my videos or when I just are wrong, you should always try to be you. And that's the difference in everything. You can never have another you.
Right.
Right? When you're trying to replicate somebody else, people could actually feel it. That, hey, something about you now not clicking because you're just not being true.
Yeah, I mean,
You understand? You're showing an image, but then when they come to deal with you in person, it's a totally different person to dealing with.
Right.
You understand? So, yeah, that basically mean in a nutshell, I just being true to me. Either you like me or you don't like me, at the end of the day, I'll feel good about myself knowing I true to me.
yeah.
Everything else could fall in after. Because if you're not being true to yourself, you can't be true to anybody else. Right? If you don't love yourself the way how you is, you can't love somebody else completely. So that just basically how I just look at life.
Right.
You have to be true to you in order to be true to somebody else. You have to love yourself fully in order to love somebody else. And that's just basically how I just operate.
But everybody think like yourself, right? So you just find like a struggle within that, as you being authentic as your original self. You let go to face the world with have many obstacles, negative people.
Yeah, it does be somewhat of a struggle, but I reach a point where I don't take it personally anymore.
Right.
Because as I say, 5 years. I'm not thinking about it, I'm not being negative about the situation, you know, I just do what I do. You know, some people just don't like realness. And if you look at how certain people is in the world, you have to fake yourself in a way to fit in, right? You're making yourself so uncomfortable to fit in that you're forgetting yourself in the process of trying to fit in. So when you know, being somebody who could stand up for yourself and believe in what you believe in, some people mightn't like it, right? Let me say, for instance, me now, right? How my whole life set, like I set my goals for 5 years straight. But as a man, I don't really have expectations, right? Because let me just say, for instance, I set every single day for 5 years and I have expectations. If I fail a day, I might go mad. I might take it on too much because I have expectations. But having a plan for the 5 years with no expectations, if I fail today, no problem. I'll go again tomorrow, right? But if I happen to succeed today, I'll be appreciative of what I succeeded in. But I didn't have no expectations of succeeding, but I put out everything to succeed today, right? So if I fail, no problem, we go in again. If I come and I succeed, appreciative of succeeding today, I still go in tomorrow. You understand? So, yeah, that basically some of the day.
And in terms of your brand, right? I want to speak about your brand. Not your real life. Brand, TruLiving.
Yeah.
This is part of your brand. I also believe he is a graphic designer also.
Yeah.
You work for big people all day. I
Yeah,
see you doing your thing.
So, yeah.
You know? I want to speak about your brand. What is the whole idea of your brand, TruLiving? Because most what I see on social media is the board games, right? Like, what is the encouragement behind this?
Well, they started off being a graphics man, and well, 1 or 2 people put into the board now, doing graphics. A club will come, we need a game to play, to design a game from scratch, and we need a game. Then our next bag will come, maybe we had this idea for a game. And I just say, instead of always having to create over a game over and over and over, I could just put things in place and just create a set of games, have it as templates, and just advertise it. So it would just be easier for people to, you know, just choose which game they need instead of always having to design over games from scratch over and over. So you just have a whole template with different games for people to choose from. Yeah, so that would basically where the game aspect of everything come out from.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the clothing brand?
Well, the clothing brand is just to reflect myself.
Right.
So probably have some designs, you know, showing don't give up. So I have a TruLiving, you know, representing to don't give up. You know, continue believing in a dream. So it's just to show as the journey continuing, it's a apparel to show.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me say, and why does really what TruLiving, when somebody wear one of TruLiving t-shirts, let me say somebody just hate themselves. Let me just say that don't like themselves.
Right.
But when they wear a TruLiving t-shirt, they say, feel confident in themselves when they wear this, because this is what I stand for. You know, coming outside. Because let me say, for instance, if I decided that me want to come outside again, me like certain things about me, but then people ain't gonna get the best set of graphics. Some youths mightn't get no encouragement because I don't want to come out of my shell.
Right.
So you probably have millions of other people out there with better talents than me. But just the fear of what other people think about them, they just will not come outside. And then they'll die with all these talents they have and nobody will never know about them. So the brand, the t-shirt brand itself, whenever you wear that, whenever you wear a TruLiving t-shirt, you should just feel a need to forget all your problems.
Right.
When you wear that thing, when you wear the don't give up, I have a dream, I can't give up on that dream. You just should automatically want to do something with your life one time. So that's the feeling I want people to get when they wear a TruLiving apparel.
Well, you know, when you from right from the south side, you have a lot of local designers, you know. You see yourself and your brand being competitive to others, you just in your own lane and you do your own piece.
In my own lane, I don't really consider nobody a competitor to me. In my own lane, I have my goals to reach where I'm supposed to reach with my brand, and the only competitor is the man in the mirror. Right? Nobody else.
No, not good answer. I was expecting that answer. A very, very, very good answer. No, it's about a lot of individuals, even like myself, let's talk about support, right? Who supporting who and who not supporting who. But as young entrepreneurs, you see yourself supporting others, like in terms of when their brand beside yours. They even go and hustle to support your brand.
So here's something else I stand by, right? I don't believe in the word support, and I will expect that I will explain that afterwards.
Right.
But I'll still say the word just to clarify what I'm going to say. Right? I believe in supporting other people. Right? If somebody don't buy my brand, that has nothing to do with me. Right? And what I just tell people, no matter what you do in life, do not ever expect yourself in somebody else. So if you is somebody who like to support people, right? Do not expect them to support you back. Then again, you come with the mind of having expectations again. Right? So not because you somebody go buy everybody else's brand, means just because you buy their brand, them should buy back from you. Then you add an extra stress in your life that you don't need. Right? So when you have zero expectations now, I buy your brand, you buy mine, no problem. This is me.
Right.
I'm not expecting me in you. Not because I want to buy your brand, I should expect you to buy mine. And I think that with the problem with supporters, the things that start to go haywire because people expecting themselves in someone else, and that is not how it's supposed to be. Be you, be original, and just be yourself. No expectations, and everything will be smooth with your life. There are no worries.
TruLiving, the call for me. But your words, your TeamViza TV, we represent, we just float around, we just move around, we just see people, background, everything, right? In your own words, right? Welcome to Trinidad, where building yourself is considered you feel better than people. What is the behind this?
Right, so when I make that post, it was basically people just have a problem when you are better for yourself, right? Because when you doing things good in your life, it tends to make them uncomfortable with their life, right? So let me say, for instance, a man on the block, he just liming, and next one every Friday he liming by the bar, right? But 2 weeks ago, or let me say a year ago, you was one of them, but you just get a vision that, hey, I can't do this again. So you need better for your life. You start studying, you start going to seminars, you start elevating yourself, right? So now, that person who used to see alignment now, he just have a problem with you now because you have him feeling shitty about himself, right? Because how you elevating your life and he not doing nothing with his life. So that's how people just start to have a problem. So you know you doing things with your life, and just automatically people will just have a problem with it. Right. Because you making them feel shitty about their life. Instead of them taking motivation from what you doing with yourself, they want to say like, oh, I'm not going to support him. He feel better than people. But come and sit down and talk to me. We never had no conversation. But how you could say I'm better than people? How you could say I feel better than people, and me and you never sit down and had a conversation? And that is the problem with people. They tend to judge you before having a conversation with you.
Right.
And that what has happened, right? And that why I just always say too, when somebody say I feel like better than people, I just feel good in a way because I'm probably better than you. Because for you to say, I didn't say it.
Yeah, you say it.
You understand? I didn't go on the internet and say better than you, I'm better than you. It come out your mouth. So it's how you feel in a certain way about your own life, right?
For my internal guilt.
Yeah, because wait, but he really doing all of this, right? And I just sit down here. Why he had to do it? Why couldn't it be somebody else?
Right.
Why he had to do it? Just so you just feel like he reached somewhere. You understand?
Yeah.
Why had it been he? Okay, you understand? They will not have a problem if somebody else do it. Like, right? People just always make this statement. Jay-Z have a brand, a local man have a brand. Why you sharing Jay-Z stuff and the man who right in the area you can't share his stuff? Because who is you to want to do these big things in life? You understand?
Right.
me and you in the same area, just so you just want to do big things with your life. No, them have a problem with that. So they go in and say you feel better than people now, and you have a problem.
What advice you will give to someone, right, like a young entrepreneur who coming up into the game, right, I want to do like yourself, make a transition over into something positive, right, but still feeling peer pressure by the peers now. What advice would you give a young entrepreneur? Cameron is yours.
Well, the best advice I could say, and I think I kind of explained a little bit of it in the beginning, have zero expectations of anyone. Make sure to set goals in your life and make sure and focus on your goals. Don't focus on what somebody else doing for you or what somebody else not doing for you. Just make sure to focus on what you have to do for yourself first, right? Just make sure and have no expectations, as I say, and do not ever, always, I'll stretch you ever, just put it by 100%, expect yourself in somebody else. And that what used to mess me up, because I believe I was one of the most loyal persons in the world. You understand? So when I loyal to you, I used to expect you to be loyal to me.
Right.
So when I do something for you now, and I'm not seeing the same loyalty, it used to eat me up. And that used to make my dreams stagnant. I used to pause, because I used to take time to try to understand, well, how this person I grew up believing in could disappoint me like that. Them could have get me to do anything. So has zero expectations of anyone, no matter if you're going through hell. Although once or twice I go post a certain thing on social media, but that is part of my plan. I live in real time. I documented my journey in real time. So if I going through something today, I posting it today. I have enough faith in myself to know that I would make it. And that the same faith every young person who want to go into business should have in themselves as well. So I don't want to do things now nobody know, but then when I make it, a whole set of questions. Where you went through? No, I do it in real time. So when I do make it, it have years of videos to show every single day what I went through to make it. So that is, just zero expectations. You expect yourself and nobody else, and set goals and set reasonable goals. Don't come and set a $2 million goal in 6 months and you know you never made $10,000 in a year. You're setting up yourself to fail. You understand? And then you go frustrate yourself with that, you understand?
Facts.
And yeah.
Very intelligent young man. Sitting here with you tonight, I want you to do your thing, you know what I mean? But as when you say, a good journalist will go straight to the source to get information.
Yeah.
Now I see you also posted, pain doesn't make you weak, it makes you real. Have you ever had an encounter with pain that you could actually pose that? Because I am here to ask the questions. What make you pose that?
Well, to be honest, as an outside child, I could have say it as that. So having my father in my life wasn't really there. So I just, went through, me and my mother 100%, seeing she struggling, working after work. Even when I start my events back then, she's the first one to go in, sweeping out, the last one to leave, packing up drinks. So I just built my whole life around paying she back for she hard work, right? Just to let she know that I appreciate every single thing you do for me in this life. She never once tell me anything bad about my father, nothing, right? She was always positive and she always teach me the right way. So, seeing that she come and die before I even get to, show she that the things I wanted to show, she kind of hurt me, you understand? And then on top of the hurt, my relatives that I believed in from young, I didn't know, as soon as she died, everybody just, gave up on me, right? I didn't know how to deal with that death. I believed in anything else on this earth, but I never ever believed my mother could have died. You understand? I believed anything else. So when that come and happened, I didn't know how to do it myself. So I stay a whole year straight. I inside. No calls, no messages, nobody in, nothing. So that whole year I just sit down there, I think, I read, I do all kind of things. And I don't know if I just get so strong that I reach a position in my life where I don't need nobody. But appreciative of anybody who willing to be in my life. You understand? I don't need them, but I appreciate it. So I'm not going to let nobody feel like shit for being in my life. You know I don't need you, but you know I appreciate you for being in my life should be enough for you to understand what I went through. So that the biggest pain in my life, just losing she. Because it was me and she, you know, doing what we had to do to ensure that, yeah, and I basically it would be pain part. To lose the best thing in my life, and then people who I expect to be there for me, they just leave me to go through it. And, well, yeah, so.
And how do you deal with that, like today, more than like 2025?
Well, every day I try to always keep my mind busy, right? Make my videos 3-4 o'clock in the morning instead of crying down the place like I used to 2 years ago. If I feel pain, design a flyer. If I feel pain, write out something to see if I could make something better about myself tomorrow. So my mind always busy with positive thoughts, right? Things that she go want me to continue doing with my life. So that's basically how I just try to deal with my pain now. Before I used to try to depend on people to help my pain, but I find other ways to deal with the pain now. So, yeah.
One of your last posts, I saw your post up on Facebook where you say turn your delivery into a marketing strategy. Right? And I believe you was nowhere in point for now the time when you did that video, you were somewhere on the road.
Yeah.
How did you turn your delivery into a marketing strategy? What is the whole blueprint behind it? Like, what is the marketing behind it then?
The marketing behind it, basically it was just to deliver some labels and go on to our next delivery. But I'm in a new area. Most people don't know TruLiving.
Right.
So I said the best thing to do, turn it, instead of, okay, the delivery don't happen, what I could do next? It's a new spot. So I put aside my pride, take up a game, hold up my game. People come asking, what is this, what is that? Yeah, Ludo thing, start to interact. People take my number, you know, and I end up getting a few sales over that simple, you know, marketing thing after the delivery.
You don't feel like how going out there with your boards and phones up and doing this thing?
In the beginning I used to, but my mindset now is 5 years. Right? It have to happen within 5 years. So what holding up my game had to do with anybody else, what anybody else had to think about me. Right? So I don't really study what somebody else had to think about me while I did. I do it in real time. If holding up the game in public amongst a lot of people is the way how I can get it sell, I am going to hold it up in public to get it sell. I'm not going to, nah boy, what you gonna think about me if I do that, boy? Nah boy, that
Because you don't actually have people who just think like that, right?
yeah, that will make me look low, you know. I wear Prada and thing, and then man coming and see me holding up board, no. I will hold up my board and I'll still buy my Prada comfortable. You can think what you want to think about me. That is your problem you have with me.
Right.
I am happy about what I do with myself, you understand? Because I'm sure the Prada high on my foot is honest dollars, you understand? So the feeling of being able to afford a Prada after holding up a board game is priceless, you understand?
I want to speak about the type of board games you have, right? Now this year, if I look at this and it's asked me, I go say this is Ludo.
Yeah.
You know, but you're in your own style. You can explain this board game for us?
Yeah, this one is basically a drunken version of the Ludo.
Okay.
So, well, we know how people could play. There are certain spots on the board. Let me say you just land here. You have to take 2 shots. Right? Anybody land on here is 2 shots.
Okay.
And throw the board, it will move back 2 times. That take shot 1 time, and yeah, so on and so on. So
And this one right here?
yeah, that one, let me say you land on that, you could choose anybody around the board to take a shot.
Okay.
So you could pick anybody to take a shot when you land it. Yeah.
What's the cost of this?
225 for any of the game boards on them.
Oh, any game board?
Yeah, any of the ones I have available, you can get it for 225.
So you're fully interested. This game looks nice. I like this game. 225. TruLiving. And this one here now, This one here, I'm kind of a bit confused. I don't know if it's a monopoly kind of styling. This game. Drunk together.
Yeah. But basically, when you're playing this one, you just need a dice, you roll 6, and you start. And well, you keep rolling the dice according to what number you get, you just keep going until you reach end.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So it's
that journey from 6 started.
Yeah.
We come around.
Until you reach end. So
and each one you land on, you have a
it have a
start
task.
over.
Yeah, it have a task to do. Yeah.
2 truth and a lie.
Yeah, so it's
I
a
give it a
different thing.
5, children. Everything is 225.
Yeah.
Right? Do you like rent out boards in case people want to rent out boards for like game nights and so forth?
Well, yeah, I have packages and stuff where there's rent on
There's
the
rent out.
as well.
You
Yeah.
want to speak about some of the packages in case somebody might want to get information on, right?
Well, yeah, you can say if you're renting one game for 24 hours, it's $80. If you're renting 3 plus for 24 hours, it's $60 each. So, I basically the package after the rental part of it.
Right. No, but as a young entrepreneur, I know we all face struggles on a daily basis. How do you deal with that?
Well,
Obstacles, how do you deal with it?
just keep thinking about the end goal.
Okay.
You know, just keep the positive mindset true because it have an end goal. Right? And I think that what does make me deal with it most of the time. Today might be hard, but the end goal will be great. So just study the struggles of today because the rewards of tomorrow will be greater.
Will be greater. TruLiving, what inspires TruLiving on a daily basis?
And to be honest, is really the struggles me and my mother had to go through. So like basically what built me from this time.
Okay.
The struggles me and she had to go through to make stuff happen.
So there's use it as a fuel.
Yeah, my main fuel and well, my daughter, right? After my mother died, she was one of the main reasons for me to continue what I was doing. Because
Right.
as I say, I was lost, but for some reason, she just had some features of my mother. Like the way how my mother would come to me, she would come to me as a daughter, and I was like, what did I get? You give me back my mother in a kind of way because you understand? So that has given me an extra push. That hey, when my daughter see my videos when she get older, she will understand what daddy used to go through. Right? She don't ask too much questions because it's there for she to see.
Right.
For herself. My father really went through it and to make sure I get the life that I supposed to get. So just having that thought in my head, I can't give up. Because I'm a little girl expecting me to be great. Because as I always say sometimes, a daughter's first love is she father. Right? If you use a disappointment in she life, the only type of man she could actually find is disappointing man because she father is a man who does disappoint. You promise you coming, you ain't coming. You promise you something, you ain't getting shit.
Go to school and the insurance.
You understand? So when she come and she end up with certain men, she ain't have no problem taking that kind of treatment because she father do it. So I don't ever want she to have that thought. When she see she father doing great, she should look for great. Right? Don't look for less than great. You know, through your father, you should understand what a real man is. So you should choose wisely. So that's why I always say sometimes it's the parents' fault. Right? You're not setting no proper example for your children by expecting your children to be good.
Right.
Not just giving your children food, you know, putting clothes on the back is being a parent. Not quarreling with your children every day is being a... Remember, children don't like to be pressured. They'll always go for the easy way out. That's why I say in one of my videos, a quarreling mother is a loving mother. But they just only understand that when they get old, what she was quarreling with me for is because she wanted me to do good. But the better way I just find to do it, instead of having to quarrel with the children, you know, just be an example that they could look up to. Every day, they're seeing mommy getting up to do the right thing. Every day, they're seeing daddy getting up to do the right thing. So, in their mind as children now, they have no choice but to do the right thing because they learn the right thing within the house. So when they see things differently out there, they don't really want to try that much because they already know certain things that they want. So that my main fuel. I want you to know right from wrong early. And yeah.
You ever see yourself like mentoring like young kids? Like having like a youth group?
Well, if I one or two persons when I talk to them like how I talk to you, they'll be like, so how you know?
Yeah, because
How you know thing, you understand?
exactly.
Yeah, but I have a kind of, I have something to do, but I can't talk about it now and tell it out.
Right.
So this is what I'm talking about. It in the work's done happening already, but I can't say it before time.
I think it's something you should really peep into, because you have good reasoning and I listen to your conversation, you know what I mean? And the way how it is you bring across your points, it could change someone's life.
Yeah.
At a young age. You know what I mean? We need more guys like you in the community. Yeah? And away from having a daughter, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment?
Not giving up. Yeah, that be because I had all reasons to give up. I didn't.
So, TeamViza, is she going also? Alright. Worst advice ever given to you that you remember up to this day?
I can't really say what. I don't know if this will fall in the same category as that, but don't worry, I will organize and help you with certain things that you need. I don't know if it falls in the same thing, but
What do you consider it being the worst advice you ever get? You know what I mean?
well, I guess that the worst advice is trusting people. I could put it across as that.
Alright. Best advice ever given to you that stick with you up to this day?
No matter what happens, don't ever think about giving up.
What do you know? No, I have my visa here, who's not here right now. I want to keep you here too long and we'll go on and on and on. You see, I woke up out here, but you know how it goes. No, your handles, where people could find TruLiving if they're interested in doing any extra business with you.
Well, throughout social media is real TruLiving.
YouTube,
Yeah, you can find that.
Facebook, Instagram.
Everything. Real
You
TruLiving.
want to share your WhatsApp contact in case?
Well, when I catch me on social media, everything will be there. I want them come and see.
Bro, it's at that time I message you on the media and me and Gay you until I see your face and I say check your DM.
I'll make sure I'm putting things in place to organize for that now. Yeah,
Alright.
taking it more serious now.
So this is the part here before we close off and then when Visa going special portion.
Well, I like to give people a little advice and,
Speak up.
big them up and let us see. I love what I'm hearing, and the part what touched me the most is when you say that the journey with you and your mom, how all it started off.
Yeah.
And she there with you in the beginning and to close off is you and your mom. And she come and passed away. And you miss her so much, so it had you a certain way because to lose somebody is really tough. And a loved one, and I believe in family first. And if you have your mother at your side, it's a blessing because my mom used to be selling and I used to be selling with her. And she reached an age where she had was to retire or stop selling.
Yeah.
And I take up that mantle and start selling. And when I lose my mom, I could understand what you was talking about when you lost your mom. Because to know somebody with you, through thick and thin, and for whatever reason, God take them. You understand? So my advice to you is to be strong. God know your heart, and He will take you through any situation. The sky is the limit. Alright? It's something you said that your family, who you expect to be there with you, you didn't stand up with you as you expected. Don't let nobody surprise you. Don't let nobody surprise you. The way you speak, you look like you have things in charge. You had authority, and God will give you the willpower to pursue it. You just go till you reach the sky. The sky is the limit. You just go, you just continue going. Everything you ask God for, you will get it. You mightn't get it right away. Patience. And you look very disciplined. I love your attitude, your energy. It's great. You will have no problem. You understand? And the teaching that your mom gave you, it will take you through to reach any victory that you want to achieve in life. And trust me, holding on to her memory or her legacy or what you and she been through, that will make things easier for you. For things to happen, and the blessing will always be on you. Look, this is my son, the CEO of TeamViza, and I with him. You understand?
Yeah.
So we don't take things for granted. Things just happen. We just have to accept it. And I'm glad to be at his side whenever he have a show. I never miss a show. I always here. So I know what you've been through. He have his mom with him. Plenty of us don't have their mom with them, and they doesn't know what they're missing out on. But I know because I lost my mom just like you. Just in a different way. So the love that she teach us or brought us up, you just let us just live in within your heart, and life could be so smooth and comfortable for you. Everything go run into place and fall into place. May God richly bless you. Take it from strength to strength, A to Z, whatever you wish for. I hope that you get it, and many, 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 many more. On behalf of TeamViza, we love you, we appreciate you. You understand? And as a young fella, you just keep going, never give up. You just keep going and trust in God, and everything will be okay. Alright? So that is my prayer for you and advice. Love you again.
Click on the tail, really go high. You know it was.
That's how we just do it.
Well, we come into our close. You know, it was nice having you as our 10th guest in season 6. Right? As my mom said, we wish yourself, I wish it for you, and even more now. You know what I mean? I see you on the grind out there doing your thing, hot sun. This guy with his board up, whatever, Point, Penal, Sando. Let's call it random places, but I know you can just say you in Point 40. You know what I mean? And you keep doing your thing. As I say, I have the price. You just continue doing your thing. You know what I mean? Now,
And the next thing, give him his flowers.
well, that is basically it. You know, that is the reason why it is we TeamViza TV created this whole platform to give young entrepreneurs like yourself, this view talent, to see people who only going to hustle, call them up to be a part of the project. You know, to give your flowers, you know, we acknowledge what it is you're doing. You understand? We want to just wait till, yeah, we hear about him and he was so and he was this kind of person. And no, I hear to tell you, brother, you have a good thing going. You continue. No whatsoever. Now we have come to a close. To view this full episode, go subscribe to our YouTube channel at TeamViza TV. Follow us on Instagram at TeamViza_TV for the latest update. Young entrepreneur, CEO of TruLiving, Mr. Kendall, who requested. Love you,